grab a drink of your choice because this is going to be a very informative video. I asked you all what is the next topic, and most of you voted for content creation, and I am going to share everything you need to start your content creation journey in 2026. By the way, if you are tuning in for the first time, hello, my name is Ankita and I live in Vancouver, Canada. I am 38-year-old mom, and I started my content creation journey at age of 36. And let me tell you something, I was creating content for years and it didn't go anywhere. And now when I started this channel, everything changed. And I'm going to share with you all the mistakes that I made and why I was not successful back then and how I was able to make this happen this time. So let's talk about elephant in the room. And I know so many of you have desire to start the content creation, but one thing that is always stop you, and that is market is too saturated. And I get this so many times, like, what's the point of content? There are so many content creators out there. You don't think this is the right time, or is it even a right time to start content? And let me say this, market is saturated. Yes, it is. Because if you are going to create a content that is not going to add any value, then yes, market is saturated. But if you are creating a content that is adding a value, you are sharing your personality, you are sharing who you are, your backstory, or maybe you have your unique ways of doing things and you're sharing with the world and you are sharing your perspective, then no, market is not saturated. Because think of this way, we all have our own personalities, our own energy, the way that we speak, the opinions that we have. But think of, if I strip everything away, I will just become this person that has no opinion, no soul, no authenticity. You have to share your own authentic version if you are going to create a content. And always remember, why would I watch your recipe when there are millions recipe out there? But if you are someone who is sharing how to cook dinner in less than 30 minutes and one pot meal and food that even kids can enjoy, I am your viewer. I am hooked on your channel because I'm a working mom. I do not have time. I am looking for dinner ideas less than 30 minutes and one pot meal, yes, I'm all in. So do you see the difference? You have to create differentiation in your content, and if you do that, then market is not saturated. And now let's talk about the second most question, because I think I want to be so honest here that a lot of people think that when you start creating content, you are going to make money right away. And my answer is, well, if you are someone who knows how to create really good content and you have that skill and it's so natural to you, then maybe you will be able to make content. Maybe you'll be able to make money right away, because I have seen there are so many creators, they make less than 10 videos and one of the videos goes viral and then they are hitting such a big number, lots of brand deals. So I am not going to say that you cannot make the money. It really depends on your skill and maybe the content creation is natural to you. But if you are like me, who is learning this skill as you go, then the answer is no. You are not going to make money right away. If your goal is to become millionaire right away, then content creation is not your answer. So you are still going to make money in the early days, but maybe you need to set a very realistic expectation. So when I started my content creation, I was creating a fashion content. I received so many brand collaboration. I was receiving a free outfits. I was also getting paid to create content. So yes, I was able to get some money, but it wasn't huge money. It wasn't like I was getting millions and millions of dollars in the first year. The reason why I want to be so clear, because it's so important to have a realistic expectations in the beginning, because if you are fixated on the money part, you're not going to stick around, because all you're thinking when the brand's gonna come, when the thing's gonna come, and it's going to show in your content as well. And now let's talk about third, the most important thing. But Ankita, I don't know how to create a content. I feel nervous around the camera. I have so many thoughts when I turn on my camera, everything disappears and feels like I have no clue. Let me tell you, I was exactly the same. It used to took me 2 to 3 hours just to film one content. And if you scroll back, this is why I never deleted my old videos, because I wanted to share how I started and where I am right now. So go back and watch any of my previous video. You'll be able to see how my confidence and the way that I articulate has changed to the way that how I was in the beginning. And now, the only thing is, you are not going to get good from the get-go. It's a skill. If you treat it like a skill, then you are going to learn it. Like any skill. If you start a new job, is there an expectation from your new job that you should know how to do the job right away? No, right? So you are going to take some time to learn that skill, even though you are qualified, even though you have all the degrees in the world to get that job, but there's going to be a learning curve. That's exactly what the content creation. You are not going to be good at in the beginning, but you are going to get so good at it if you continue to learn the skill. And it all comes down to the mindset. If you start with the right mindset, and this is why I shared that these 3 things are so important, because if you do not have a right mindset to begin with content creation, you are not going to get success, because these are the things where I failed. I thought that as soon as I post, my videos are gonna go viral. Oh my God, I am going to be the most viral YouTuber. And guess what? I failed really badly. I thought I'm going to receive a brand deal. When I was making a content like 8 years ago, no one was barely watching, let alone a brand deal. And I did not know how to speak on the camera. I was fumbling. I would say a line 5 times, and I wish I should have recorded myself when I was creating those content. But anyways, those videos were so embarrassing. But I'm so glad I made those videos, because what it taught me, experience. I learned to edit myself. I was editing, I was filming, I was doing all these things. And all these skills are so valuable, because then when I started this channel, I was able to implement those skills. And now let's talk about the technical side of the thing. So in order to create a content, yes, absolutely, you do need some equipment. Now, there are going to be people, they're going to say, just start with their phone. And I'm going to say that too. Yes, if you have never create any content, you can start with the phone. But if your goal is, well, I should say it depends on the platform. So if you are creating a short form content, meaning if you're creating for the TikTok or Instagram, or if you're creating it for YouTube Shorts, or there's so many platforms nowadays, then yes, you can use your phone, and phone camera is really good. But make sure you use the backside of the camera. But if your goal is to create a YouTube video and you have a bit of experience, meaning you have created a bit of a content before and you feel like, yes, this is where you want to go, then invest in a camera. I would say the quality of YouTube, if you watch, it has improved significantly. No one wants to watch a low quality video nowadays. Like every single person who is starting has such a great camera, such a great lighting, such a great mic. So this is going to be my answer. If you want to try with the phone. Phone cameras are amazing. But if your goal is to try the YouTube and you have a bit of experience, then start with the camera. And then the second thing that you need, which I was making that mistake, and even when I started this channel, I was sitting on that, and that is your lighting. You cannot film in a dark room. Like, imagine if I turn off this light. This is how my content is going to look like. This is why lighting is very crucial. If you're thinking your videos are not doing well, or maybe you're putting so much effort in your content, why no one is watching? It could be the quality of the video, not necessarily that you are terrible at content. And if I have to think about when I started my YouTube channel 8 years ago, I remember I didn't invest in a good lighting. I was just using a very pathetic room light, like the headlight. Like that is the worst thing that you can do. And I think my content was not terrible. I just didn't have the right equipment. And because I didn't have a right equipment, no one was watching my content and I felt like my content is terrible and I stopped. So this is why your equipments are equally important when it comes to content creation. And then you definitely need any mic. So the mic that I'm using right now is a Rode mic, which I will leave the link in the description box below. And the camera that I'm using, I will leave all the information below. Before I move on to the next thing, I am going to share one thing that is going to make your content successful. So stick to the end. By the way, if you're serious about creating content, you have a small business, you wanted to create content for that, or in general, you are thinking to create a content then, or building your personal brand, then I am offering one-on-one completely free call with me. And all you need to do is click on the link in the description box below and book that call, because those calls are booking so fast and I don't know how many spots I still have. So if I were you, and if you're serious, then click on that link right away. Anyways, so after we talk about all the technical side of the things, then you need to pick your platform, because your platform is going to be very important. And like I said, there's so many platforms out there. But one thing I will tell you, if you try to grow on every single platform, you'll not be able to grow on anywhere. So this time when I picked YouTube and I stick with it. So whatever platform you choose, you go in depth with it. And that's exactly what you need to do. Every single platform has its own advantages and disadvantages. And there's no right or wrong way to go about it. It's just your preference. So if you want to start with short form content because you just wanted to test the water, then you can start with YouTube Shorts, because I think you can post up to 3 minute of video. And if your goal is to create a long form of content, then of course YouTube is your go-to platform. For a short form, if you are looking for more raw and more real content, TikTok is the best way, because you can be so real, so raw, and no one really cares about it. Everyone just connects with your content. Then go with the TikTok. If you want to create a content that is a little bit refined and you enjoy that, then Instagram is your platform. But if you want a written form of content, then LinkedIn is going to be your best friend. So it really depends on what is your goal and which platform is going to best suit for you. But if you have any question, specific niche you have, you are going to leave that question. I will try to answer your question as best as I can. And now talking about niche, let's talk about this, because everyone says that you have to pick a niche and then go all in. And I have a little bit of different opinion on that. And I wish someone would have told me. I think in order to build a niche or see a content creation, I would pause and focus on building a personal brand. And this is what I have been doing on this channel. And this is what I would suggest to anyone out there. And pause for a second. If you need a full detailed video on how to create your personal brand, let me know in the comments and I will do one, because it's such a big topic and I think it deserves its own video. And also, if you need another video on the technical side of it and what equipments I use, if you need me to go in depth, I can do that as well, because I'm a person who just wants to click on the camera, ready to go and film. I am not those tech dudes that will spend so much time improving quality and all of that. I cannot stand that. I just need a one-click button and then good to go. Anyways, going back to building your personal brand. So instead of niche, I would say build your personal brand. And I'll tell you why. When I was creating content 8 years ago, I was creating content about makeup. And that was a niche, right? I was only creating content about makeup, how to put on makeup, and that's it. That was such a niche topic. And what happened, within few months, I got burnt out, because how much makeup can I put in? Even if you look at it, all successful content creator who share their makeup, they're not only showing makeup, they are building a personal brand, and that's a difference. So what is the difference in the personal brand and just creating a content? I'm just gonna give you a very short and quick definition of it. Personal brand is what you are known for. So imagine if you are not in the room, but what people are talking about you. Like, oh, she is someone who dress up really well. She is someone who is really organized. She has always the best recipes ever. Or she is someone who is starting her business and she's talking about it, right? We all have personal brands. So for example, anyone who wants to change their life, who wants to pivot their career or want to start content creation, they are coming to me. Even though maybe I want them to come for some other reasons, they are coming to me for these reasons because these are the things that I'm doing and I'm talking to everyone in my friends. So they know that this is something that I'm passionate about. So indirectly, you already have your personal brand. And ask yourself, what are the things that people call you for? What are the things that you are really good at? And that defines who you truly are. And it separates from the niche is because niche is that I am only going to post about cooking videos. I am only going to post about fashion content, or I'm only going to post about business stuff. That is very niche. But if you become the personal brand, everything about you becomes a niche. Basically, you become the niche. The people watch my content is because I became who I am and what I am known for. And that's exactly what you want to do. Because a lot of people think that creating content and content strategy, it's same thing as personal branding. So when I was building my brand Inkaara, I learned so much about building brand. And one thing I understood, and from the beginning, I did the same thing. I am not just creating content. I am building who I am and I'm sharing with the world. Because the thing with the personal branding is if you start to hide who you are, then what's the point of creating content? This is what I said that in the beginning. Market is saturated if you have nothing to differentiate. If I also start talking about the videos that everyone is talking, or if I start copying other people's content, then why would someone watch my content? You have to give a reason why people should watch your content. And that is what going to help you succeed in content creation. And this is why I am so big for building your personal brand. By the way, you are going to let me know if you want a whole dedicated video, because there are so many nuances that I want to talk about personal branding, so much that we can discuss about it. But anyways, that is really going to differentiate when it comes to creating in content. And another thing, when you are creating a content, always remember what value am I adding to someone's life. If your goal is, I'm just showing my day in a life kind of a video, but what are you truly want to share? You are sharing your 9 to 5 because you wake up 4 in the morning and you have a kid. You are showing how productive you are. I love those videos. I would stick with it. I would watch it. If you are showing day in a life and you are copying someone and you are not differentiating, give me a reason. Why would I watch your video? And this is where I made a mistake. I was always copying people. I was like, whatever other content creators are doing, I'm going to do the same thing. And that is a killer. You cannot do that. And most of us do make this mistake. And I think the biggest reason why we make this mistake, and I am not doing this time, and that is when you consume too much of content, that's when you start to copy other people, because you are consuming a lot more. You are influenced by their thoughts. So for example, if you want to start a cooking channel and now you have been all day consuming cooking videos, I mean, nothing wrong with it. You should look at it like what other people are posting, but just to get the inspiration. But if you start to watch their content not for observation but for consuming, what's going to happen? They are going to affect your thought process. Then you're not adding any value to that content. And talking about value, and it ties to the personal branding, if you are not being authentic in your content, it's not going to work. And this is one of the biggest things. Share the part that you are truly proud of. Don't be scared to say the things. If you are filtering it out every single personality. You are sucking the soul out of the content. And that was exactly what I was doing. When I would create my makeup videos, there were so many flaws, and I would talk about a story or something. And when it comes to editing, I would cut all that part. I was like, no, I'm just gonna show people how they put the foundation, then blush, then that. Like, why would somebody wants to watch that? Give me that reason. And I never gave that reason, and that is why it failed. Now, I do not cut any of that part. The way that I speak, my speed of talking, or the energy that I bring, this is who I am. If you watch my Sunday live, you'll see me. Like, by the way, if you're not tuning in, you should. Every single Sunday morning, we go live, a PST time. I'll leave in the description box. But anyways, you will see me on camera, off camera, live, offline. I am this person. I do not care if you are going to like me or not, because my job is not to be likable. My job is to share my thoughts, what I am doing, how am I changing my life, what are the things that I really, really want to talk about. If you are rhyming with my vibe, you are going to stick around. If not, no one is compelling. No one is forcing anyone to watch the content. And I think this is the biggest piece. When you try to hide your story, when you try to hide the part, who you truly are deep down. And I know I talk to so many of you, such a great stories, but when it comes to content, you feel like you have to perform, that you cannot speak from your heart. You cannot show authentic version of you, because I know it is vulnerable. When I speak like this, or when I talk, it is vulnerable because I am showing all of my part. But one thing I do want to care, that I am creating a community of women who are similar to me. They have the same vibe as me. They want to change their life. They're passionate about content creation, starting a business, whatever it can be, whatever it is. They are so passionate about it. And this is what I care about. Building a community rather than just chasing likes and followers. Those things are just a matrix. It's like the vanity numbers, and it's not going to fulfill you in any ways. So my question to you all is, instead of picking a niche, I would say do this practice. I'm going to give you this question and answer these questions. Why do you want to create a content? Because often we don't ask these questions. Why do I want to create a content? Maybe you want to drive sale to your business. That's a very good thing to do, because nowadays no one is building a business and then coming out of the cave and telling the world that this is what I built. Now people build in public. They share from the day one what they are building. It's kind of like helps them to prove the concept. Ooh, I'm moving my hands so much my iWatch is thinking that I'm walking. Anyway, oh yes, if you are someone who wanting to start the content creation, to share your opinion, or in general you have achieved something and you want to share with the world. And this is why the first step before even starting a content, ask yourself, why do you want to create a content? Because once your purpose is clear, that's when everything else becomes very easy. And the second thing, you are going to ask yourself, what are the things that you are good at? Maybe you are someone who always have a really good solution for a problem, or you are someone who cooks really well and you always have a great stories to share, and then you can build your whole brand around it. So you need to ask this question, which is going to help you to build your personal brand. What are the things that people come to me? And the third thing that you are going to figure out is, what are the topics that really excites you? Because there is no way that you can speak about every topic. And this is why I'm not going to show you how to make a kid's meal in like less than 30 minutes and all of that, right? Every single person wants to talk about the topic that they are really passionate about. Like maybe in your job, you have a really good experience of the skill that you are currently working, and you think you have capabilities to share with the world because you have approach that not many people are talking about. Or you are a mom, you wanted to show how you can look put together in within 5 minutes, or get ready in the car. Like you are someone who always getting ready in the car for 5 minutes. Like that's definitely me, and I will watch your content because I would love that, how you are getting ready in 5 minutes. So you really need to be so honest, answer these questions, and most important, you want to ask this: what is the value that I want to add? And that is tied to the first question, like, why do you want to create a content? So when I decided that I'm going to share how I'm changing my life, I started talking about it, and my fashion videos would get a very good views. And when it comes to the other content, they were barely getting 100 views. And I thought, okay, I could just continue with the fashion content, but I decided, because my why was very clear, I told myself that creating fashion videos, it's amazing, but it's not something that I want to do. Because at that time, I was changing my life. I'm just like changing who I am. And I really felt that I need to share with the world, because I know how hard it is to feel stuck. And that's when I did not care if 100 people are watching, 50 people are watching, or 10 people are watching. And I remember it kind of helped me as well, because if less people are watching, that means I have so much time to get better at creating content. If imagine all of a sudden, a lot of people start to watch your content. Oh my God, that would be so scary, because in the initial days, we are learning how to record videos, how to film ourselves, how to talk on the camera. And it's going to be so challenging. And this is why I always say this: going viral is actually not ideal. You do not want to go viral in the beginning. Unless you are really good at content creation, then of course, you're going to go viral. But most importantly, when you are very clear with your why, every single thing becomes super easy. And another thing that I'm going to share, and that is consistency. In order to win in life, you cannot just do things here and there. You have to do it on continuous basis. If you are learning this skill of content creation, you cannot just create a video once and then forget about it for 3 months, or create continuously videos for 3 weeks and then disappear. Because any platform or anything in life, consistency is what pays at the end. I stayed consistent, and I told myself that every single week I am going to post one video, and that's it. It's actually very easy than we think. We put so much pressure that creating content is so hard. You can just start with one video in a day. You can tell yourself that I'm going to start with the short form, and I'm only going to create one video, and one video only. And in the beginning, not even in the beginning, I still write all the points that I'm going to talk about, because I don't want to ramble here. When I come on here, I wanted to give you a clear strategy, a clear roadmap, what to do. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Write down, even if you feel like you want to write down word by word in the beginning, you could do that. It's your choice. Or you can write down the points that you're going to talk about, just to get over the hump of this initial camera fear, whatever it is. You need to create content on continuous basis, and afterwards it's going to become an ease. And start with, I'm going to target 1 month continuously. Like, lower your bar. No one watching, who cares? If 1 people are watching, amazing. And that's exactly how I did it. My goal was, if 1 person watching, 1 like and 1 comment, oh my God, that made my day. And that's exactly how I was able to stick around, because my goal was not that thousands and thousands people are gonna watch it. And if you stay consistent with content, I have seen so many people online, they have completely changed their life. Like, content creation has completely changed my life. And I know if you stick with it, and if you stay authentic with it and build your personal brand rather than just randomly posting a bunch of content, you are going to succeed in your life. And if you look at any successful content creator out there, they are not creating content. They're building their personal brand. I hope this video gives you a clear idea how you can start your content in 2026. But if you have any question, leave it in the comment section, and I am going to try my best to answer each one of you. And before I forget, do click on the link below to book your 101 call with me if you're really serious about creating content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to recommend this video right here because I know that this video is going to be very beneficial to you. Thank you so much for watching.